Okay, so for those of you that don't know me, my name is Sarah O'Connell. I'm an ambassador diamond. I have been with It Works for over 7.5 years. So I have been in this business for a long, long time, many seasons. And I'm going to tell you guys, there is nothing different between me and any of you. I started with a small goal, a reason to a change that I was looking for, and that's all I needed. Honestly, we have more training, we have more tools than we have ever had. And you guys, I say that not to tell you that it's easier, but to tell you that there's just a lot more guidance. And so when we talk about failing our way forward, like, we seriously mean it. We didn't have Zooms. We didn't have the things that corporate offers us now. We didn't have the awesome apps. And you guys, we still did it. So first of all, just be willing to find your way, okay? And know that if what you're doing isn't working, be willing to change it. Be willing to hop on stuff like this. Be willing to take bits and pieces from the Show Me the Money call on Mondays and try to see what is going to be your niche. What can you kind of all put together that feels right for you, that excites you, but also allows you to enroll distributors and enroll loyal customers, because that is what you get paid to do, right? And you're here to make extra money. You're here to fast track your goals, whatever it may be. And just know that you can absolutely 100% do that. But whether you believe you can or you can't, you guys, you are right. And it's the same thing with distributors. If you can get loyal customers, you can get distributors. It's all in what you're focusing on. It's all in what you're talking about the most. It's what you're offering, that type of thing. Okay. So with you're focusing on distributors, I always tell people, like, change your focus over to that, and know by default, you will be getting loyal customers, okay? And I'm going to tell you, by default of just sharing the products that I use that come in my auto ship with the health goals that I have, that gets me loyal customers. Guess what? When I'm signing up a loyal customer, I'm getting them all set up, you guys. And then right before I'm about to like tighten the bow and have them sign up, I make sure that I'm always offering this opportunity every single conversation. Okay, so make sure that you hear me on that. Like, I offer this to every single person, okay? The other things we're going to talk about tonight is objections. We're going to talk about expectations to have when we're talking and having these conversations, because I think that that's super important. And so where some people get this like defeated mindset when they come across certain things in a conversation, I've learned that some of those things are normal. Like, I almost expect those things. So it's not defeating to me. It's more so like, let me show them how to come around this. So I want to give you guys confidence in what I share about this company, what excites me, how I overcome objections, all those types of things. Okay. So you are on here tonight because you want to be getting distributors. You want to grow your team, right? That is where you are going to make the most amount of money, you guys, is by growing your team, following the maps. You're unlocking the weekly bonuses. You're getting that extra enrollership that comes with an extra 5%. Okay. Yes, our business is amazing that you can enroll loyal customers and you can still make a fabulous check. You can still be making money off samples. You can even get a bonus just based off of loyal customers. However, I am going to tell you, the bigger bonuses and those types of things come with building a team. And the thing is I'm here to tell you too that I did not know who was going to be on my team when I said yes, but I also knew I was going to figure it out. I feel like not having those expectations or thinking like, oh, my friends are going to join or this person's going to join, and then they don't, and then being discouraged, like, it was almost better because I didn't know who was going to be on my team. So as I started talking about it and offering it, I had zero judgment. I welcomed anyone and everyone. And that's the thing too, you guys, is I want you to do the same. It is not your job to judge if this is for somebody or not for somebody. It is your job to offer it to every single person, because at the end of the day, everybody is looking for more time and everyone is looking for freedom financially, right? And so if everyone's looking for those things, then they are looking for this exact opportunity, because that's what this offers. So here's my question to you guys. If you are wanting to sign 3 distributors a month, raise your hand. Like, or say me in the chat. I want to see you in the chat. I want to know what your questions are, because this is for you. This is not for me. So if that is what you're looking to do, if you would like to make an extra $300 just in weekly bonuses, okay? Like, I want to know who that is. Because here's the thing, if you're on here tonight, it's because you're looking for those distributors, right? And the thing is that if you are even just doing step 3 and you're teaching them step 2, your auto ship is paid for. You're already actually making profit. which you guys, for most people, they don't get to start a business and just start profiting right away, or even just breaking even. Like that was my original goal, which is kind of funny. So here's the thing, but here's my other thing. So a lot of you are like, yes, 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 right? So was I. Here's the thing, you guys. I also have to ask you, are you willing to hear no? Can you hear no without feeling defeated? You have got to ask yourself that, because I want to tell you, I hear no on a regular basis. And you guys are thinking to yourself like, well, she's an ambassador. She has this incredible story. She's earned this much in bonuses. She's paid off this much in debt. I have. And you know what, you guys, I still hear no. So here's the thing. A lot of times, if you are scared to hear no, you're not offering it. Even if you think you truly are, you're tiptoeing around it. You're skirting around it. You're not directly offering it. You're actually like inadvertently being like wishy-washy, which is where you're starting to get these wishy-washy answers, or these people are kind of skeptical because you're actually skeptical in how you're offering it because you're scared to hear no. Like you're in your mind, you're already thinking this person's going to say no because I've heard no by the last 5 people, right? Here's the thing, you guys, I go for no's. I do not care if somebody tells me no. I actually don't even care when I message if I don't get a response, okay? And so if you're like, oh my God, that hurts my feelings or that discourages me, like we got to wipe that out of there, okay? And here's why, because when I message, I'm not waiting for an answer. If I get an answer, hello, cherry on the top, okay? But what I truly am going to do is I am planting a seed, and I am wanting them to come over to my page and start watching what I'm doing. And because I know I'm consistent with my stories, I'm consistent with my posts, I'm consistent with sharing my business, the opportunity, how it's changing things for me, those types of things, I know they're going to figure out what I'm doing. Eventually, they're going to be asking. Okay, so again, I want to tell you guys, you are going to hear no. So have that expectation. Guess what? I've heard no many times, and I have an ambassador team. So are you going to be willing to hear no till you get an ambassador team? Like that's what you have to ask yourself. That's the only difference between you and I, is that I've heard no a lot more, and I've offered the opportunity to a lot more people. That's the only difference, okay? There's nothing else. I started with a $99 kit that had way less products to offer. I started with a lot less than what we have now. And I started with no story. I started without earning any bonuses. I started where everyone else starts, okay? So just remember that. So again, if that's something that you're thinking and that's holding you back, you've got to let that go, okay? So know the things that are holding you back. And I'm hoping to hit some of those that you're like, yes, that's me, right? Because we need to bust through like the glass ceiling that we have on ourselves we keep telling ourselves that we cannot sign a distributor, right? If you keep saying that, you're right. You're not going to sign it. But if you are like, you know what? I'm going to see how many no's I get this week. You will start getting yeses. You will start planting those seeds. And on the second and the third week that you keep offering and you're excited and you're talking about it, those no's turn into questions. Those no's start thinking like, well, I kind of do want to know some more information. And so you guys have to remember that stuff. So don't feel so defeated so quickly, because I still get all the things that you guys get. And at the end of the day, like, yes, I can tell somebody that I've done this or this, but you can also tell that person that I've also done that or this. Like, you guys don't need to say that you have earned this many bonuses. A lot of people don't join this business for bonuses. I didn't join for a bonus, even though that was being offered. You guys, yes, like I heard, oh, you could get a $10,000 bonus, but no joke, it was in one ear out the other. What's odd is that I actually went and got the bonus. So, but the thing is that's not why I started. So, when you tell yourself like, oh my gosh, it's now $99, or these people have codes and I don't have codes, you're literally stopping yourself. That what you're saying is not truly stopping you from getting a distributor, okay? So here's the other thing. I want to ask you, who wants endless opportunity in growing their business? Not just now, not just this week, not just this month, but 10 years from now. And if you want that and you want this business to continue to pay bills and pay all your bills, or maybe be creating a legacy for your family, you guys, you have to be willing to network. You have got to be willing to let go of the people that you know that have said no and stop waiting for them. You have got to go find the new people. You have got to find the strangers. You have got to start interacting with people that you don't know. And the thing is, you guys, is you are going to meet some of the best people there. So I don't care how small, how big your network is. None of that matters. At the end of the day, every single one of us needs to learn to network. Every single one of us who is going to build a business, who is going to change people's lives, who is going to have endless amount of people that we can offer this to month in and month out and be hitting that 3 distributor minimum goal. We are all going to be building our network. We are all going to be adding people to our team that we do not technically know, that we have maybe never met in person. Okay, so that's the thing. Somebody's network is only so big. I've been here for 7.5 years. Do you guys truly think that my network was that large that I could still be building with people that I know for 7.5 years? Because I'm here to tell you, like, that's a big fat no, right? So probably for the last, I want to say 6 years, if not even more than that, you guys, it has been completely networking. Okay, and I'm going to tell you step by step exactly how I do that, but you have got to be willing to do that. And so the thing is that comes with that is you probably feeling a little bit uncomfortable. And so that's the other question I have to ask is like, are you willing to get uncomfortable? You guys, I had to do things that I had never done before to get people interested and, you know, attract people that I was looking for in my team. And I had to do new things. Like they were things that I had never done before, right? Maybe it was different than when I first started and I had people asking questions. Again, it's the same thing, you guys. Whether they say yes or no, at the end of the day, you can give somebody information and it still might be a no. That's okay. But just know, like, I continue to move forward and I plant new seeds with new people all the time. I'm not waiting for somebody that's saying yes. Or if they say on Friday, that's still not a distributor in my mind or on my steps to success. Okay, so those are the things, you guys, I want you to ask yourself is you have to be willing to hear no without feeling defeated. You have got to be willing to add to your network. That is something I do every single day. It doesn't matter how busy my day is, you guys. I may even lack a post on Instagram, but I can guarantee you that every single day I am interacting and I am adding new people to my team or to my network every single day. So that is something I never skip a beat on, okay? So hear me out on that. So when I tell you doing my steps to success, enrolling distributors, getting those weekly bonuses, I actually just shared that in my story. I was like, hey, we talk about being able to get 5 paydays every single month. Every single one of you can do that, but you have to be willing to do the things to get there. Okay, so get outside of your people and know that those people will probably still come along, but go find the people that you don't know that are looking for this, because I'm telling you, they're there. Okay, so here's the thing, you guys. Like I told you, I'm going to be super straight to the point. I don't want to take a bunch of time. The family calls on tonight. I think Cammie's talking about an announcement of some sort, and then I have Ashley on here who I know has some really good tips to offer you too. So I want to get through all of that. So here's the things that I do, you guys, here's the things that I do for people to come to me to be asking about the business or to be piquing their interest, or it allows them to somehow relate to me. You guys, you do not have to have a relationship with this person for them to relate to you. That is completely different. Okay, so I want you to really think like, who am I and who was I and what was I looking for to change? And that's why I said yes to this opportunity, right? We all started something new because we wanted something new, okay? So even if it's friendships, even if it's something small, who cares? You guys, that speaks to stay-at-home moms who are constantly having conversations with little people all day. Like they want a tribe, they want support, they want that adult conversation. And then the fact that they can earn money on the side, they're like, yes, please. They may not even know that they could use that. But I tell people all the time, and we're going to talk about objections too. I tell people all the time, if I give you $500, would you know what to do with it? And if they're like, well, yeah, I'm like, okay, so then you could use an extra $500 a month, right? So that is something that I ask all the time. I'm like, if I gave you $300 right now through Venmo, would you know where that's going to go? Or is it just going to sit in your account for days and days and days? You guys, no one says, yes, it's going to sit in my account. Like they know exactly where it's going, okay? As would I, even where we're at in life. Like I could be like, tomorrow I could be like, yeah, it's going because we're getting newborn photography. And why is photography so expensive? I don't know. You know what? But what's awesome is that my weekly bonuses are that I've stacked up, haven't touched, they are going to pay for that. And I love that. okay? So here's the things that I do, you guys, where I feel like people are interested in asking what I'm doing or asking that makes it relatable and where they want to join forces with me, and they do not know me. These are not people that I've met in person. These are people that have gotten to know me through me being live and present on my stories and sharing things about myself, okay, through my posts and whatever it is. So first of all, I interact with other people, okay? At the end of the day, you could have the most inspiring story of all times, right? But if you are never interested in other people, they're not going to be interested in you, okay? So I am being super honest with you right now. So interacting is huge. How do I interact, you guys? I go and first of all, I'm a big stories girl. I started doing stories because I realized I only watched stories or paid attention to that. Very rarely would I hop to somebody's profile page and actually read their posts. Okay, so I go and I comment on stories. Why? It drops me in their inbox instantly. Okay, so like if it has nothing to do with that works, you guys. It is just normal day-to-day conversation, interaction about their family. Maybe it's their outfit. Maybe it's a compliment that I'm giving somebody. Can I tell you how far compliments go for people? Like people, there's mean people these days. Like for you, it doesn't take much to stand out. Like be kind and you're going to stand out. Like be positive, be energetic. You're going to stand out. Like I'm just going to tell you that right now. Okay. So I message through stories because it drops me in their inbox. So that is something that is really big for me. If somebody catches my eye and they're getting added to my list, you guys, I instantly, every day, I'm like, I am commenting on their stories. If they have stories, I'm commenting every single day. Okay. So that puts me in their inbox. Second of all, I actually legit comment on their posts. So if I know that I like this person, I like their vibes, I think they would be amazing on my team, I hone in on them, they come on my list, and I make sure when I go to interact for that day that they are on there. So I have like 3 or 4 days maybe where I'm popping in their inbox. Then, you guys, I will just go message them. Like, it is not weird unless you make it weird. They are not just a number unless you are honestly putting zero thought into your message or heart into your message, and there's like no genuinity in your message. Then they're going to be like, okay, I'm just another number. However, if they've already seen like, oh, Sarah's been commenting on my stories, she's already in my inbox, like they're going to see those types of things, you guys. And then I tell them exactly what I see in them. So I start usually with a compliment because there's a reason I was drawn to them. So you need to ask yourself that. Why would you want this person on your team? Okay. So that's like the first thing I ask them. Then I tell them that this is what I have to offer them. Okay. I have an opportunity to offer you that you are able to make an extra income working on the hours or the nooks and crannies in your day from your social media, sharing products at discount, and I get to offer it to you at half the cost. So if you have promo codes, you should be talking about that every single time, okay? And then I always end it with a question, and I always say, is this something you would be interested in hearing more information on? That's it, you guys. Like, I am not word vomiting. I'm not telling them everything I do. I'm not talking auto ship. I'm not talking about a website. Like, I am just even seeing if they're interested. You guys, you cannot get upset if somebody doesn't respond to you. They might be like, who the heck is Sarah? And what the heck is she talking about? Guess what? They're probably going to go over to my page and start looking. And there's going to be information there because I do my 6 list consistently. If you do not, it's going to be harder for you because they're going to be like, I don't even know what she's talking about, and I can't figure out what she's talking about either. Okay? So the other thing is I always tell people, like, if you have a bomb storyline that you have spent time doing, you best be making sure you have new eyes on that. So if you have put up a story over opportunities, you need to be going to add like 100 to 150 people on your Instagram. Facebook, you can do a little bit less. My main thing is Instagram, okay? But Facebook, you can add is whatever you wanted to add to that number. But you guys, you have to have new eyes on your stuff, okay? So I'm interacting. I add new people every single day. Every single day. That is not something I skip ever, 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 okay? You're not going to get far if you're just posting to the same people over and over and over. And honestly, you guys, these top 2 things that I do, I feel like these are the top 2 things that people miss. They get their stories done, they're live, they're present, they're doing their posts, but They might miss the messaging. They might miss the following up. They might miss the interacting. They might miss the adding to their network. You guys, those are really, really important. Like, you have got to be doing those things to get new people on your team, okay? So the other thing you can do is obviously doing host to post. If you don't know what that is, go search rewiring. We have so many posts regarding it. It is awesome. It has you messaging, it has you adding to your network, and it has people kind of working for you. And it actually really does open the door to distributor conversations when people get a lot of info or like a lot of interest on the post that they share for you, okay? So that's another way that you can easily do that. Here's the other thing. I tell my story of what I was looking for, why I started, and what my original goal was over and over and over, okay? So every single one of you on here had a reason to start. You have started, and you have an original goal, okay? So you cannot say, I don't have what Sarah has. You have that. I do that over and over and over again. And I reword it, and I change it up. But like, those main things never change, okay? So just because you haven't hit a goal yet, it doesn't matter. Like, just because you aren't where you want to be or as fast as you wanted to be there, that actually doesn't matter. People aren't paying attention to that like you think they are. They're not, okay? So, again, like, I don't sit and say, I have people join me all the time and they have no idea that I'm an ambassador diamond. You guys, I don't care. I mean, I care. I'm proud of that. I love our team. I love that we are a team like that. But at the end of the day, I want to share what's relatable to them. I want to share why I started. I want to share what I was looking for. I want to share where I was at in life when I started. Like, those things are relatable to people, okay? So I do that. I share my wins, you guys. You all have wins, okay? So whether it's you're enrolling loyal customers, you can show the demand of the product. If you just had somebody that says, I just am not a very good salesperson, you know, and you've talked to them and you're like, well, honestly, all you have to do is share the products. And if you're sharing, you're going to have people coming because they're products that people want. Well, if all of a sudden the next day you enrolled 2 loyal customers and you're showing that people are buying your products, that person watching who has that fear is like, Megan told me that. Megan told me if I share, people will want what I have. Like, you have to think about those things, okay? So share your wins, whether it's weekly bonuses. Maybe you haven't unlocked those yet. That's okay. You are going to, right? You are going to, after we are off this Zoom, you are going to be unlocking the weekly bonuses that come. I share those every single time I get them. I share what they're covering. I share if a bill popped up. I share if it was camp over fall break. I share if it was for going towards our freaking roof. Like, some things are fun, you guys. Some things are really real life. Like, that's just the way it is. Again, all of it's relatable. I share when somebody joins my team. I share a picture when somebody is signing up as a loyal customer. Like, I share those things. If we are highlighting somebody and somebody's promoted or somebody just retired themselves, it doesn't matter if it's you or it's somebody on your team. We are all a team together. You should share that. Somebody else's story might relate to your people more than what you've been sharing. That's okay. That's okay. Okay, so make sure that you're sharing those things, you guys. You all have things to share. Our team is phenomenal. Okay, so be bold in sharing those things. I share other people's success stories all the time. Okay, so we even have a thread on Rewiring that has people that have shared all their stories. You need to go save those. You need to go save those to your phone. You need to share those. You know what? Megan might be a nurse. You might be a teacher. Ashley, you know, somebody else might do hair, or somebody might have been a stay-at-home mom and then they're doing this instead. Ashley's a boy mom. Like, there are all these different things that we have, and we are so much better together, and we can reach such a larger amount of people than just focusing on yourself. Okay, so you should be sharing other people's stories. You joined someone, okay? If they quit, whatever, not a big deal. We're still here. People are still here. You can share my story over and over and over. You can say, I've watched Sarah do this and this and this and this. So I finally asked myself, why can't I do that? Why can't you do that? Why can't we link arms and do that together? Like, you can use people's stories all the time. Okay, so that's something. You think of the stories that inspire. If you don't know any stories, you need to be hopping on the Show Me the Money calls on Mondays. You guys, that is like my favorite call of all time. I still start every single week off with our family call because I want to know what's going on. When you're like, how does Sarah know about announcements? It's through my emails. It's through being on the family calls, that type of thing. It's not because I like have this insider like info that people think we do. Sometimes we do, but most of the time that's where it's coming from. All things that every single one of you gets, okay? So stay close to the fire. Like if you feel defeated or you feel like not excitement, you're missing something, okay? And usually it means like, oh my gosh, I had a bad day, or somebody told me no, or somebody said they were joining and they changed their mind. Happens to me too. Guess what, you guys? That means you need to step a little bit closer to the fire on those days because we all have that happen to us. It's not the end of the day. It's not the end of your story. It's not the end of your business. Like, just know that, okay? It happens to every single one of us. So I share others and their success stories all the time. I think it is so inspiring. I don't just think my story is inspiring. I want people to know there is more people out there than just myself. There are people that have had amazing, successful careers and they still did this because why? Maybe they had the finances, but they didn't have the time. You guys, I watch people all the time. I say this all the time. Some people have the finances. They have zero freedom of time. Some people choose to have the freedom of time and then they're living paycheck to paycheck. Like, just know you have so much to offer people. Here, you can get both. Like, it is the best of all worlds. Like, I cannot tell you that enough. And I did this business all the way full-time when I was working full-time as a nurse, all the way to ambassador. You guys, the fact that I had the two and all the extra income coming in, that is what made us move so fast on so many of our goals. You can do that. You are not at a loss because you have a full-time job. Like, and I'm proof of that, okay? So I share other people's stories. I share with conviction. And what I mean by that, you guys, is that I know what I want to do here still. I know where I plan to go. I know who I want to take with me. Do you know those things? If you do not know those things, you have got to ask yourself, what are you going to do here? Are you 2 feet in? You guys, people want to join people who know where they're going. You don't even have to be there yet, but they want to know that Courtney is 100% going to do this and they're watching, right? And eventually they're slowly going to start trickling in. And sometimes all it takes is one. Sometimes you all of a sudden it's like you get one and then you get 2 more. And then you have those 3 people to be focusing on, sharing their wins. And then all of a sudden the people that you talked to 3 months ago, now they're ready to go. Okay, so it literally takes like breaking that glass ceiling, but you guys, you have got to speak with conviction. You've got to know that you are worthy of your goals, you are beyond capable of doing them, and you need to speak like that. Okay, so because people want to join people who know where they're going. Okay, you don't even have to be there yet. So you guys, if I'm telling people I'm going to pay off my house is not paid off yet. But they're thinking like, holy crap, she's going to freaking pay off her house? Like, that's what she's doing? If we didn't have a house payment, how much extra money would be in your account each month? That's a big chunk of money. Okay? And yeah, that's a big, scary goal. That's probably one of our largest goals we have ever had thus far, outside of my school loans and our wedding. But you guys, that's our goal. Like, that is one of our goals right now, is us paying off a house that we bought. So that's the thing. I'm still going to talk about that. I'm not going to be shy about that because I haven't done it yet. I'm working on it. Like, I'm going to tell people that's what I'm doing. And it's even in my mind only because of this business. I would never even be in that like mindset at all if I was still just doing my nursing job. Like, I want you to know that. Like, I didn't even know. I always wondered, how the heck do people pay off their school loans faster than possible? Like, mine were $600 a month. Well, they do it probably by adding something in. And guess what? I did it by adding something in. So you have to speak with conviction, okay? The other thing is I message people. I do not wait for everybody to come to me. And when people are like, oh, people are annoyed by people cold messaging. Here's the thing. No, people are annoyed by robotic messages with zero heart in them and zero, like, any sort of personalization. But if you have consistently shared your heart, put yourself on your stories and you are talking to people and you are offering things to people, you guys, they will not be annoyed. Like, I actually have had people say like, no, thank you. I don't think that's for me, but like, I'm super honored that you thought of me. And I'm like, well, why wouldn't I have thought of you? Like, you're all of these things, blah, blah, blah. You would be amazing at this. And so again, you guys, I don't stop when I just hear them say like, no, thank you. So the thing is, I don't wait for everybody to come to me. Just know if you are doing that, your goal is on other people's time. Okay. So, and that's a choice you're making. It's not on anybody else. So message people. Like seriously, you guys, go message people with heart. Go message people with excitement. Go message people offering what this business can do for them. Pay attention. Have they made some posts about being stressed out? Have they made some posts about goals that they have? Pay attention and loop around and bring those into the conversation. And that's stuff that you can easily find just by going to their page and visiting for just like a few minutes, okay? So I message people, and if you're like, what do you message people? Okay, I'm gonna tell you. I tell them what I see in them, which is what I've already talked about. So usually I'm complimenting them in some way, because the truth is that means I'm like handpicking somebody for my team. So yeah, like I know what I'm looking for in people. I know the type of people that I think are amazing at this business. I know who I want to work alongside. So if you don't know those things, ask yourself, like, what type of people am I looking for? And so I talk to them about those things. And then I also tell them what we do. And I always ask if this is something they would be interested in. Again, you guys, I don't always do it for the response. In the end of the day, I want those people to start watching what I'm doing. And I want them to plug themselves into where I am in life and to see that they can do this too, okay? So eventually, maybe I'll get a yes. Like, so one girl that's on our team, she's on a cruise right now, but Erica, she looked back and she was like, do you know how long ago you messaged me before I finally, and you know what? She popped into my inbox for, she commented on a poll for a product. And then I swooped back around again with her and I said, Erica, you've talked about, and I think she felt guilty spending a certain amount of money. And so again, you guys, you might hear that with loyal customers too. And I finally just said to her, I go, if you feel guilty taking care of yourself or investing in your health, then you need to take advantage of this opportunity. It can pay for that stuff, but you can also have extra money so that you don't feel guilty for those types of things. And that is how she ended up signing up as a distributor. So again, you guys, be looking for ways to turn it around and change their mindset a little bit of how they're viewing something and offering a solution to them. Like that's what I'm doing. You guys, at the end of the day, if it stays a no, it stays a no. But at the end of the day, if you can open up their mind a little bit and you turn a no into a yes, like you're going to be like, oh my God, I can freaking do this, right? So just know that, you guys, again, you have to be offering it. If you're not offering it, people technically don't know it's there, okay? So those are things, you guys, that I do consistently, okay? Consistently. So when I say that, I don't mean just one day out of the week. I don't mean just for a week. I don't mean just for a month. Like those are things that I've been doing consistently. And that's super important, especially for people who have just joined. Maybe you're just starting to build your network. You guys, I was too. I didn't even have an Instagram when I started. I think I started building up Instagram like 2.5 years ago. Okay. So like I started and I had like 300 followers. Like it wasn't, and honestly, that doesn't even matter. What matters the most is having the new eyes on your stuff. Okay. So know that those are things that I do consistently. And that is when you hear people that are like signing 5 distributors or 10 distributors a month, they are doing all those things consistently and probably at a larger number. But go for 1. Go for your 3. From there, if you're consistently doing that, yeah, up your game. Be like, you know what? I want $600 in weekly bonuses. So I am going to go get 6 distributors. Like, you guys, that's money that you can get right now. You're not waiting for a month to get it, and you're growing a team. And here's the thing that I want to tell you something is I think if I wouldn't have been willing to add people to my team, I wouldn't be as far as I am now. And I think you're thinking like, obviously, no, but seriously, because I played bigger with other people's goals than I did with mine. Like, I'm going to be really honest. So like when somebody trusted me and they were like, okay, I'm going to do this with you. Like, it was like game on. Like, I pushed myself to learn things. Like, I was like, girl, you're going to get some answers. Or if they asked me something, it might have been something that I'd never thought to ask myself. Okay. So you guys, adding those people, like it lights fire, not just because you're making money, but you have new goals that have been added to your goals, right? Your business is now about other people and not just about you. That is fun. That is exciting. Okay. And so I, for whatever reason, was relentlessly like, I was like, oh yes, we are making those goals. You guys, I could sit back even now after having a baby and be like, I'm just gonna hang low. I'm not doing that. Why? Because Megan has goals and she's hungry for them. Courtney has goals and I know she has goals that she wants to meet before Christmas. Those are people on my team. I'm not gonna sit back. I could have an excuse. Everyone could. I don't want to. They entrusted me. They wanted to join me. I'm going to work like they're working. And that's what I want to do. Okay. So here's the thing. The other thing is ping pong conversations. No, you do not have to have all the info in one swoop of a message. Okay. I go for the back and forth. There might be a couple days. You guys, that's okay. It takes some time. Okay. So be willing. Like, don't be annoyed by that. Be patient with people. Encourage them to ask questions. Encourage them to vocalize their fears. Like, get all that out of the way. Because even if they just said yes right away, you're going to have to go through that stuff anyway. So you might as well do it now. Okay. So, and then following up, and I always ask questions about them. So I think that shows that you care, that you're not just in it to help yourself. So I always ask them, what do you do right now for work? Like, how many babes do you have? What is the amount of money that you would like to make a month? Okay, you just told me $300. Why? What would that go towards? I want to know the value behind your goal because we are going to work for that. So I ask those things even before they join. And then excitement. You guys, if you're popping on your stories and you're like, oh, so I have an opportunity. It's super great. Like, you know, you can do this and this and this, like, and it's all just like one tone because you're scared and you're like sweating and you're doing all these things, because people are going to be like, she doesn't seem super excited. But if you're up there and you're like, you know what, this is why I did what I did. Like, I get it. I have, you know, and even say, I have spoke to so many of you and you're holding yourselves back because of these things. Guess what? I had those things too, but I am so glad that I just ripped the Band-Aid off and know like none of those things are going to hold you back. Yes, they're there and they're real, but at the end of the day, you're going to work past them, you know? So like, take even what you've had in conversations where you've gotten no's and talk about those things. Talk about them and address them on your stories. You guys, like, people are going to just listen in and be like, holy crap. Okay. Like, yeah, that was me. But then she's also talking about more people. So more people have that too. So I am human. Like, address those things. That's okay. Those even objections can be a part of a post, you guys. Like, address them. That's your people that are scared, but yet they're wanting a way. Give them a solution. Give them a solution, okay? So here's the thing. These things are going to be really quick, and then I'm going to talk to Ashley, okay? And Ashley's going to share some of her stuff. So points on it works that you can highlight, okay? So get your freaking pens out. Write these down if you feel like you have a hard time talking about it or you don't know enough about it, okay? We started in 2001. We became debt-free in 2008. You guys, this is huge because there's not very many companies out there that are debt-free. Like, you should be talking about that all the time. Not to mention their vision and why they offer bonuses and the compensation they do is for every single person that joins as a brand ambassador to be debt-free. It is not to buy the fancy stuff. Eventually you can get there if you want to, but it is to be debt-free because they know as a company what that offered them and the choices it offered them and the freedom that it offered them as a company. And that's one of their main visions for every single person. So I always tell people, like, when I'm talking about that, I'm like, think if you had zero debt, if you had no credit cards, you had no car payments, you had no student loans, how much extra would you have a month? Like, so again, I have my potentials thinking. I'm already planting that vision for them. I don't care if they have a great paying job. If they have debt, they have an opportunity to get rid of it. Okay? So that's one of them. You get your own website, which means you can also be building worldwide because we have no deliveries and we do not have to carry a bunch of stock of product. Okay? Those things are huge, you guys. Those were things that I asked. And again, think of things that were important to you and that you asked when you were like, oh no, I like that answer, right? So these are things that I thought about too. You have multiple ways to get paid. You can get paid daily, weekly, and monthly. And you guys, if you're like, what is that? Samples from your auto ship, you can get paid daily, okay? Weekly are the weekly bonuses from getting distributors. And then monthly is from commissions, right? So you have all those things. So you could have potentially 5 scheduled paydays a month, but you could also get paid in between that. You guys, my first month in, I made $1,000 in wrap cash. Like that covered a lot of bills. So that those daily paydays, that was actually even more than my commission check my first 2 months. So were my fast start bonuses, okay? So our company is faith-based and family-based, which is huge, right? You can move mountains with faith, let's be honest. So faith over fear always. And then we have over 50 plus products to share, and we get to share it at a discount pricing, which is affordable, literally pretty much you guys to all. I mean, for even from when I built this business, I have low income customers all the way to higher income customers. Okay. So at the end of the day, if people want it, they will get it. Like that's the thing. Okay. And then the demand for our products is high. So if you share, you will be able to sell them. Okay. Expanding, we're always expanding globally, bringing out new product. And then one thing that I always talk about is that our business is meant to be a mobile business. And I tell people like what that means is we can literally do all of it from our phone. So just know the way that they have it structured, it is meant for a busy lifestyle. You guys, that speaks to a lot of people because they are on the go. They're in their car. They're sitting at practices. There's so many waiting moments in a day that we get to utilize to build our business. And so I speak to those points because most people aren't thinking, I have an hour to sit down. They still do. Trust me. You will have an hour to sit down for something. Okay, but those are kind of my main points that I do. And then things to focus on in your business post and sharing the business. Okay, I want to give you some bullet points. I want you to think of 5 short-term goals, okay, and write them down short-term. These can be small goals. These can be something that you are going to hit in a week. And so what are they? And what would they mean to you if you accomplish them? Okay, so this is something that will probably change because they're your smaller term goals. This is something that has changed for me. This is something that I still base a lot of my posts off of. And then I want you to do 3 long-term goals. So big goals. Okay, so one of ours I just shared with you is paying off our house. Okay. So, and obviously at some point we would downsize. So it's like, oh, then that could pay for our smaller house when we would downsize once we don't have babies at our house. So that is like one of our long-term goals. So think of what one of your long-term goals is. So do 3 of those. And then I want you to write down 5 qualities you are looking for people, or sorry, 5 qualities you are looking for in people to join your team. Okay. You guys, if you want to attract the right people, you have got to know what you're looking for. So who do you want? Do you want people who are hungry? Do you want hardworking people? Do you want the people that are ready to put some work in and are ready to show up? Do you want people that are ready to learn alongside you, right? Not just looking at you for every single answer, but actually being like, you know what? I'm going to figure out how to do some of this stuff too, and I'm going to bring it to the table. Like think of 5 qualities that you are looking for in distributors on your team. When you know those things and you start focusing on it, it's crazy the people that you actually bring in possess those things. Okay, so if you've never thought of that, that might be something that you're missing. Okay, and then I want you to think of 10 things that you love about this business or it works as a whole. And those are things that you can focus on. Okay, so other things you guys brought up were like fears. I want you to let go of fears. You guys, auto ship it's only scary to people if you're scared to mention it and you don't know the reasoning behind it. Okay, not being where you want to be, it doesn't matter. Okay, I want to tell you that, like, not being there as fast as you want to be there, it doesn't matter. Like, it really, to some people, maybe if they say it, okay, then move on. But to most people, it really, truly doesn't matter. So remember, when you have some of those fears, like, that's a total lie. You cannot buy into that kind of stuff, you guys, because there are so many times that I've fallen short of goals. And if I stopped because of that or thought like, oh, these people think I'm a failure because I haven't done that yet, you guys, I wouldn't be here. So, I mean, there's like, just because you're at a certain point doesn't mean that your life goes or your business goes just as you want. Like, I fall on my face a lot of times. I fall short of goals a lot of times. But at the end of the day, I do get closer and closer because I do keep showing up. Like, that's the difference, okay? So, and then objectives. You guys, I want to tell you, we have an extremely amazing post on rewiring that if you type in the little hourglass of objections that you might get for when people are joining. There are responses for you. There are ways to go around it. And it is so, so good. Like I would literally be repeating most of it because we came up with it together. But here's the thing, you guys, is you have to expect those. I expect to hear like 2 to 3 objections every single time I have a conversation. And I actually expect to work through those and show people how to get through those. So if you are taking that as a no, you are falling short because you're not working through that with somebody. And you could have just let go of a potential distributor. All they want from you is to say like, I felt that too, or I get it. I totally understand that. But you know what? That actually won't stop you. And I want to tell you something. So a lot of things that we hear, right, is time. You guys, at the end of the day, people do have time to do stuff like this. Like that's the thing. And so there are people that are busier than you, that are busier than me, that have more children than we do, that have a lot more life going on than we do. And they are all still doing this. Okay. Sometimes when people tell you that they don't have the money, I always tell somebody like, if you truthfully do not have $99 in your account right now, then you need this more than anything. So if you have the $99, I want to ask you, why would you not invest it when you know you can get it right back? Because you're going to go to Target or you're going to go spend that when you go out to eat and you're not ever going to see it again. Okay, so if you do want extra money and you do have goals or you have student loans that you want to pay off, why would you not be willing to invest the $99? So work through that with people. Okay, so expect the objections. It's not a no. You guys, it's just a fear. And so the more that we can relate to some of that, or if you come across that, or like I said, go look up that post, you guys, it is so stinking helpful. So I want you to know, like my conversations, we overcome the objections. I don't just stop right where it is. Or if somebody tells me they're not a salesperson, perfect. I don't want you to be a salesperson. I literally want you to be the furthest thing from a car salesman as you can possibly get. So that's great. Right? I actually want you to be exactly who you are. That's what I want you to do. And I want you to be able to offer a 40% discount. I want you to find products that you love and hone in on them and like, let's share the dickens out of them. Okay? So that, you guys, is where I'm going to share. So I'm going to have Ashley hop on because she's awesome and she's been willing to share and she is totally kicking butt. And our goal, you guys, is to not have a single code, if you do have codes, be wasted at all this month, okay? So that is why we were trying to hop on here and do this ASAP. But I'm telling you, her game in the last 2 weeks is just like completely different. So Ash, unmute yourself and share all the goods, girl.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, like Sarah was saying, the past couple months have been a little rough for me. I kind of lost sight of what it was that I was looking for, and what I was looking to gain out of this business. I kind of lost my why I don't know if any of you know this, but this is my second time around with this business. The first time I was successful. I kind of let fear get in the way. I lost a lot of confidence. I met Sarah on the cruise. She was not even my upline. Met her on the cruise. Obviously, I was friends with her on Facebook. I kept watching her. Eventually, I reached out. So I've been back with the business since February. I would say the first couple months I was on fire. But like I said, the past couple months I had lost that why. So I had to, I was sitting at work one day and I'm like, I do love my job, but I love being at home more. And I love, having that time with my kids every day, all day, being able to attend, sporting events, not having to, worry about taking off, and losing out on money. So I guess I really sat down. I remember I was at work a couple weeks ago and I'm like, you know what? I know I'm capable of being successful again. So I literally started jotting things down and I'm like, okay, what worked for me the first time? What didn't work for me the first time? And it kind of led me back to my why and why I joined again. I started being consistency. I cannot explain that enough. I'm not going to lie to you. The past couple months, I was kind of in and out. And let me tell you, pardon my French, I do not know shit about Instagram. I did not. So I'm doing YouTube videos. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. Well, now I have a pretty good grasp on doing stories and whatnot. Facebook was kind of my thing, but now I'm learning that I love Instagram a lot more. You know, growing my network is so much easier. So that's what I've been doing every day. I've been, you know, following, yes, strangers. I don't want to say I'm particular about who I follow, but I kind of, you know, I'll go to their profile, I'll look at their posts. I'm not, I mean, I've come across a couple creepers. I'm not gonna lie. I've had a couple weird people message me, and I'm like, okay, no, don't think so. But yeah, again, consistency. I'm posting every day. I'm sharing, you know, my successes with it. You know, the past couple months, I've had every excuse in the book, and I have let that kind of put a hinder on my success the past couple months. So I knew, you know, starting, you know, October 1st is really, I guess, when I really turned it around. I no longer want those excuses to hinder my success. I am a boy mom. They drive me crazy. I want to sleep all the time. I don't, you know, but I want this more than anything. I know it can work. Let's see, what else did I have?
Ash, tell them what
Sorry,
how you've gotten like your last handful of distributors. Like, what specifically have they come from? Has it become like they've messaged you about your post? Is it because you've messaged people? Like, because you have intentionally been getting them. That those aren't just by chance. So kind of like tell them how you've done that.
No. A lot of it is coming, I want to say, from my story. My stories on Instagram. I post on my feed as well. I've actually had, I would say, out of the three, I'd say 2 out of the 3 were strictly from my post on my feed about, okay, I just had this person join. This is what, you know, this is what this business is about. This is what you're going to get. You know, it's residual income. It's, I basically, I'm honest, you know, I explain what it has done for me. And I've had people, there was one specific post, I probably had, I want to say 8 to 10 people reach out to me. People I don't even know that are like, oh, do you have another spot on your team? Like, do you have room? Do you have any more codes left? That codes thing is huge. I mean, if you have codes, I mean, use that to your advantage. And now I have all this momentum, and I mean, I'm super proud of myself. I have completed the steps to success just in 2 weeks now. So I just want to keep that momentum going. Again, it's a lot of the posting. There's so many, and I get a lot of, I do some, you know, I do make some posts. I do, I'm not gonna lie, but rewiring has a ton. I mean, that's helped me so much. Not to mention I have like Sarah on speed dial. I'm like, what do I do here? But yeah.
And you guys, that's one thing I want you to hear too, is like, you also have to guide people. Like, your posts don't always have to be long about the opportunity. It can be very straight to the point, and even instilling that urgency. Say, like, I'm looking for 3 people this week who are wanting to pay cash for Christmas. Like, let's get you started before Christmas is actually here. Like, before the hustle and bustle is coming. Like, think about those things, you guys, that people normally stress about, you know? And I was telling Ashley too, I'm like, I never change it up. Like, I tell people, text opportunity to blah, blah, blah. Like, if I'm doing stories, I tell them, vote here. Like, you guys tell them what to do to get information, because you assume people know, but they actually do not. So, and even just that simple invite or instruction is warming to them, to be like, you know what? She's open for people to reach out to her. Like, she wants that to happen, right? And so, like she said, even if you don't have codes, you guys, if you do, I love it, because it is instilling urgency, right? And I think that's important. And I think that's something that's hard for people to do sometimes, but like, make it a big deal for somebody to be a part of your team. It is a big deal. Like, you have a vision that you get to share, and you don't have to know everything about everything, because at least, you know what, if you don't know it, Ashley might know it, or I might know it. And if I don't know it, we're going to freaking figure out the answer through my BAM or somebody, right? And so the thing is, you guys, is you don't have to know everything about everything. You don't have to know have a story yet. You don't have to have all these things that you think you have to grow, to invite, to change people's lives. Okay. And so I think that's the biggest thing too. And like I was telling Ashley, I'm like, Ashley, your mindset has completely changed. I was like, it's not that you don't have busy days or that you haven't had crap pop up in your life, but I'm like, I literally have not had you tell me a single excuse in like 3 weeks. Before it was like, and she calls herself out. Like, talk about self.
I do. I'm like, what the hell, man? I'm sorry. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I've
Just
been sick. Yeah.
I mean, and that's good, because it's like,
Yeah.
I also don't allow people to tell themselves that they have been doing everything, that they've talked to everybody and blah, blah, blah. Nobody wants this. You guys, I'm not going to let people just ditch out on their goals easy. Like, that is not who I'm here to be for you, you know? And I tell people that all the time. I'm like, no, you haven't talked to everybody. And no, there's something that is missing, because there is nothing that I am doing or that I'm keeping a secret that I'm not sharing for you, and it's still working for me. Okay. So like, there's something that's missing, right? And so that's the thing. And so Ashley and I, you know, when people are like, I want this, and that's what she was saying, I was like, Ashley, what's stopping you from getting it? Like, we're here. I'm here working with you. Like, I am available to you. You know, like, if you have a question, like, you're not there to do it on your own. Like, what is stopping you? And you know what? Nothing's stopping her this month. And she's done her steps to success in 2 weeks. Like, when you get those bonuses, like, that is going to be all the more power for you to like go get 3 more, you know, or to not have any bonuses or codes left or whatever it is. So, that is really why I wanted Ashley to share this time, because I was like, Ashley, your mindset has completely changed. Like, there's zero fear. It is excitement. It is like confidence. It's conviction. Like, it has all those things. It's like all the question has been taken off the table, which is
that's the thing. The excitement came back.
Yes.
You know, as of, you know, I keep bringing October 1st, because I was like, okay, I'm going to start fresh. I'm really going to do this. I did. I mean, I had these short-term goals. Okay, let me message 20 people today. Let me, you know, implant the thought of, you know, taking on a side gig. You know, I've reached out to probably my busiest friends, I guess you could say, that work their asses off, and they're putting in 60 hours a week. Well, guess what? You have a side business. You don't have to do that. I do short-term goals, you know, so I got my first 2 loyal customers. I'm like, okay, 2 more. Okay, got it. All right. So let's try for a distributor, you know, and then, you know, next thing I knew, I had completed. I'm like, okay, we're going to do it again, round 2. So that's what I've been working on. And again, it was just really digging deep and figuring out, it was digging deep and finding my why again and getting excited. And, you know, I'm getting fast starts again. I'm like, yes. So, and I really want to fricking go to Margaritaville. I really, really can't stress that enough.
Right. And there's always something to be working for. Like, that's the honest truth, you guys. And if at the end of the day, if your goal isn't exciting you, ask yourself why. Like, is it because it seems so far-fetched and it's too big? Okay, then break it down. Like, break it down into a goal for this week. Break it down into the next goal. Like, I'm like Ashley, I kind of wake up and I honestly, you guys, I give myself goals every single day. And so, and I don't really stop until I've hit that goal. And each day that looks a little bit different. But honestly, those goals that each day are going to add up into my monthly goal. But having them smaller excites me. It makes them doable. It makes them even more doable on a busy day, right? And so I think that that's super important. And like I said, if at the end of the day, when you go back and look at your goal, if it's not exciting you, like change your goal. Change up your goal. Like maybe you've never been on a trip. Go to freaking Margaritaville. Why can't you? The only reason why you can is because something that you're telling yourself, you know, and like I said when we started this Zoom, whether you believe you can or can't, like you are 100% right. But the thing is, at the end of the day, our steps to success, you guys, and what this, first of all, that works, okay? Because that's what I've been. I'm a steps to success girl, big time. Have been for a long time. Obviously, my numbers go a little bit higher once I did full time, just because I'm there to push myself. But at the end of the day, it is steps to success. Okay. I am not out enrolling 20 distributors a month, you guys. Like, so what I'm doing is 100% duplicatable, but I also invest in the people that I bring in. Okay. I don't expect them to be naturals. I don't expect them to be runners. Like I was probably not a runner, but what I can tell them is like, we can hone in on what they're doing and we can break things down and I can teach them things, right, that I've learned. So just know that the steps to success, it works, you guys. Like if you are doing that, or you're even doing step 3, like you're profiting. You guys, that's incredible for a business. Like that is not offered in very many businesses. And you can't join for $99 or let alone $49, right? And so those are things that you should be like shouting that stinking stuff from the rooftop. And then, like I told you, not to mention, to be able to have the freedom and the finances smushed together, you guys, you cannot find that. That's hard to find. So it's like a hidden gem that we need to be shouting out to people. So put those things together. Like if you haven't ever thought of that before, maybe they do have the freedom because they're a stay-at-home mom. I can guarantee you if they're a one-income household, they're probably on a budget of some sort, okay? Because it is hard to be that. I don't care how much you make. And so the other thing is, or maybe their significant other doesn't have any freedom of time because he is working. Well, what if you could bring some in and then you could find that happy medium to where you do get more time, you know? So think about those things because one of the two is usually lacking in most people's lives. Okay. And so it works. They're here to kind of push it together. So you guys, hopefully we answered your questions. I recorded this, so I'm going to stop it and I will get it up for everybody. And we kind of gave you the tools on there. So if you have any other questions too, or you think of questions later, hop on where I put the recording and you can put it on there and Ashley and I will try to pay attention to it and we can answer the questions there too. Okay? Thanks for coming on. Thanks, Ash. Bye, guys.
Bye.